All right, we good? All right. So, man, this is a special one. I got my guy George Porter on. I used to read about him in LA Times, Herald Examiner. I might be dating myself. But I went to a track school, Hawthorne High. But I used to look at the paper because I want to see what all my buddies ran. And I would see, Quincy Watts from Taft, the kid from Muir, Ray Brown.
Ray Brown, yep.
Martin Kennedy from Duarte.
Yes.
And then I would see this Porter. I was like, is this Cabrillo or Cabrillo?
Cabrillo.
Hey, because I went to public school, so I didn't know if it was Cabrillo or Cabrillo. And I would see this. I was like, Porter from Cabrillo, I had to ask some of the guys. So talk about it, man. So first of all, for the people that don't know, where is Cabrillo High School?
Okay, so Robert, Cabrillo High School is in the Central Coast. It's about 3 hours away from Los Angeles.
Okay.
Between Santa Barbara County, Santa Barbara, near Santa Ynez and Santa Maria.
Okay.
And it's most noted for the actual Vandenberg Air Force Base and the penitentiary Lompoc.
Okay.
Those are the two main
employers.
Yes, two main employers.
Okay, and that's what brings people there.
Two big staples.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So what did you run at Cabrillo?
So I ran the couple races. My primarily noted for was the 300 hurdles.
300 hurdles.
In which I had to take down your counterparts.
Who's that?
Oh my God, man!
Michael
Graham and a gentleman named Raymond Young.
Are both Hawthorne High kids. Yep.
Yeah, two Hawthorne phenoms.
Yep.
And my wife, who you went to school with.
Yep. Kim. Yep.
Kim Porter. At the time, her name was Kim
Grant.
Right. So to give a little background with Robert's connection and all his big cats at Hawthorne. My wife was on the 1985 high school national record 4x1 relay.
Yep.
Along with some people that Tammy Allen, Kim Grant, and a host of two other outstanding athletes. So they had ran the fastest 4x1 ever in America.
Okay.
And they held that record for
how many
about
years?
10 years.
About 10 years.
About 10 years. And so my end was I was 300 hurdle champion. I had set the high school state record. I'd won the state championship 300 hurdles for 2 years.
So you won it your junior and senior year?
Junior, senior year, 84 and 85.
And what was the record? What's the record?
And
what was the record?
The state record, which became also the high school national record, was 35.32.
35.32. And that's for the 300 meter hurdles?
300 intermediate meter hurdles.
I never did hurdles. I wasn't. And man, the 1 year I ran, I just ran and was too sore to run after that. But I got to admit, I was only out for track because Hawthorne had a lot of pretty girls on the track team.
Yes, sir.
I was not a track person. I didn't even like to ride.
Hawthorne had all the baddies.
All the baddies.
They had all the baddies.
You can say that. Yeah.
And not only were they the baddies, they kick your butt too.
They were good.
They had the bodysuits at the time.
Yes.
Hawthorne came out with these amazing bodysuits that names like Florence Griffin Joyner, Evelyn Ashford, on the Olympic level were the examples, and they just took note to that. And his school, Hawthorne High School, decided they were going to break out in something and build a trend that no one at that time had done.
Really? I didn't know
that.
So
the Hawthorne girls were known with the fly hairstyles and the bodies and these amazing outfits. And so not only would they destroy everybody on the track, they had the hottest ladies too. So I was fortunate enough to marry one of those ladies.
Smart move.
Yes.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Yes, right.
It got to be from a good family.
Absolutely.
So when you were in high school, I would hear your name. What other colleges were you looking at? Who was recruiting you? Who were your did you have a top 5 or a top 2 or 3?
I had a top 3 actually.
Give me your top 3.
So my top 3 were Ohio State, Texas A&M.
Ohio State, Butch Reynolds.
Yes, Butch Reynolds.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, Oil Money, Texas A&M. And then USC.
Why Texas A&M? Because I didn't know about them for track.
I'm gonna tell you what, Texas A&M was on the rise, and what was amazing, they recruited me heavily in the fact that they were trying to get the program together, Robert, and I would get letters from the CEOs of the major oil well companies.
Are you serious?
In the state of Texas,
asking you
who were Texas A&M alumni, and they would say, "Listen, George Porter, we'd love to have you run here at the university. We're doing this program. I'm the CEO of this company. Just want to let you know that, you come here as an Aggie, man.
We're going to take care of you.
Take care. We love you."
Let me ask you this. Did you take a trip there?
I absolutely took a trip there.
Oh, you took a trip. What is that? College Station.
College Station, yes.
How was the environment there?
Now, you know what's amazing is it's grown so much since X amount of years when I was recruited there into a much bigger town.
Okay.
Far bigger town. A&M then and still has state-of-the-art facilities.
State of the art. That's what they're known for.
Unbelievable.
Hey, their football track.
The amount of money that they spend in every sport. We'll go with track and field alone.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start with the football stadium.
Football. We talked about this. I want to hear your take on it.
Okay. So we'll start with the football stadium because one of my sons was recruited just as heavily as I was in football. I was in track.
Wait, he was recruited for football?
Yes, sir.
To go to A&M.
Yes, he had 22 scholarship offers. A&M was in his top 3 as well.
Did he take a trip to A&M?
We took a trip together.
Oh, you went?
Yes.
So how was it?
It was deja vu in a way because I remember what it was like when I got there and how it had transformed and changed in such a superpower of university when it came to the facilities and the alumni support.
Yeah.
The backing there. And so he seriously thought about, and I'll be honest with you, had A&M been in Southern California, Robert, man, it would have been a battle.
It would have been a battle.
It would have been a battle because the alumni connection, the support, and the money behind the programs is second to none.
Randy and I said this. We said that we picked like who had the most support financially. We put A&M 1.
Yes, sir.
Maybe Texas 2.
Absolutely.
Maybe Ohio State 3.
Yes.
And then maybe Alabama, Georgia.
Yes, I would say Georgia.
Georgia and
Georgia.
Alabama.
I wouldn't put Alabama there now.
Who would you put?
I would go Michigan.
Yes. Michigan. Yeah.
Yes.
That's right there. That's the top 6.
Absolutely.
All day.
Your top
A&M,
5.
Texas.
Yep.
Ohio State.
Yes.
Georgia.
Yes.
Michigan. And then Alabama.
Michigan. Yeah, Alabama
5, Michigan 5, Alabama 6.
Somewhere in there. Yes, correct.
A&M has the most alumni in the country.
Let me tell you something. We went to inside the stadium, and it was so large that we looked up in the stadium. It was like in the clouds.
Really?
The top of it. It was unbelievable to go in there. And Johnny Football is a god.
Is he still?
He is.
So how long ago were you there?
So we're looking at what my son now he's 24 now, so that would have been about 6 years ago. He would have been 18.
And Johnny Football was that big there?
Johnny Football is the Michael Jordan.
They love him like that.
They worship that gentleman. He is a legend beyond legends there.
That's crazy.
He is their guy.
That's crazy. Where did your son end up going?
My son actually was a Notre Dame commit.
Okay.
Originally, me being an SC guy was kind of different.
That was tough.
But they came at him heavily, and he decided to decommit, stay closer to home. A gentleman by the name of Herm Edwards came in the living room.
Herm Edwards
and I had some relationships with a gentleman that you went to school with, Curtis Conway.
Yep, my boy.
Who was a former NFL guy, Hawthorne guy.
Yeah, Hawthorne guy.
So we did our research a little bit, and I was friends with him, and I said, hey, Seaway, my son's trying to narrow this down. What do you think about Herm Edwards? And so he gave us a good shining recommendation.
Because I think Seaway played with the Jets one year.
Yes.
I don't know if Herm was the coach.
He was a first-round draft pick with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, Dave wants that.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
And then what happened was, to your point, he became a Jet.
And then
that's relationship with Herm.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what's your son? He ended up playing Arizona State?
He went to Arizona State as a wide receiver there. He had 22 offers: Alabama, Georgia, Arizona State, Notre Dame. Texas A&M was so second.
Okay.
And I say the same thing. Had A&M possibly been in Southern California, A&M probably would have went out. That's how big they are.
What high school did your son play at?
He played at Etienne High School.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yes.
So he's 24?
He's class of 18.
18, okay.
18.
Okay. So did he stay at ASU? What did he do?
He stayed at ASU for 4 years, got his degree from the J.P. Carey Business School.
That's
he
good.
Transferred over to Mexico for 1 year, got another year, finished up at UConn.
Okay.
With I'm trying to think of the guy's name, with UCLA coach. And Mora, correct.
Yeah,
Mora. And so, because Mora recruited him heavily at UCLA.
He was at UCLA.
And they were in the top three.
So he remembered him.
UCLA, A&M, and he was at ASU with the top three.
So that's good. Let me ask you this. Who are some of the top kids you saw your son play against?
So one would be one of our close
Fred Red?
Fred Red.
Yeah.
Bad boy. He went to Oregon. Played with St. Brown.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
St. Brown was in his 7-on-7. They were hoping they both go to Notre Dame. because his older brother
went to Notre Dame.
Equanimous, and
Yeah.
so there was a possibility when he was committed there that they would play together at Notre Dame.
Okay.
But in that class, I would say St. Brown, Red's son, was one of the top athletes. A guy named Graham, local
Thomas
guy.
Graham.
Thomas Graham.
Yeah, would know him well.
Yes,
Notre Dame.
Thomas Graham.
Oregon DB.
Yes. So he played along with these guys on the 7-on-7 and actually competed with them at Etiwanda against. They were seniors when he was a junior.
Yeah, because they're all 17.
Yes, there were
He's
17
18.
guys. Yes,
Let me
17
ask
guys.
you a question. How do you feel about high school football players running track? Because some guys don't want their kids to do both.
Right.
And a lot of guys say they should do track because it helps. The Hawthorne kids all ran track. Curtis, Travis,
Absolutely.
Raymond Young.
Yep.
Henry played football in the 9th grade. Then he just concentrated on track. But what do you think about that? What's your take?
My take is this. To my point, that they're just too young to specialize.
Okay.
There are different muscle groups that you're able to develop, particularly in the explosion aspects.
Okay.
That I think that you can highly benefit from mechanically, increase your ability to run faster.
That's what I think.
Increase your ability to come back, run multiple 4.5s, 4.4s.
Yeah.
That I saw guys like your guys that you went to school with that went to the NFL, Curtis Conway, Charlie Tanner.
Yep.
They were able to run from the 400 only down to 4.2, 4.3. And it didn't hurt them. It did not, and it did nothing but raise a stock.
Yes.
That's what I like about it. And now I'll say this: if you're not necessarily a guy who's very speed focused, it may be best that you maybe kind of zone in. But if you got some speed, I'll give you an example. When my son ran 1061 out the gate, his freaking offers went crazy.
Really, when he ran
just off the 1061, first out the gate,
wow,
that put him on the radar. Hey, because what it is it's a legitimate guarantee of speed that has no question, with it being AccuTrack.
Yep.
And so, what I love about it also is that football is a sport in which you have first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. You come in, you can regroup, right?
Yeah.
Track and field I think teaches you that you got one shot to blow.
One shot.
Okay. So you got to take that mentality. And I saw guys do that, take that same mentality to the football field.
Okay.
And knew at a high level that it may just be that one play, maybe that one shot.
Yep.
And so
you got to put your best foot forward at all times.
You got to be prepared, and you can't be worried about the second, third, and fourth quarter. This may be all you have.
Exactly.
And so you got to take that shot. You got to make the best of it. So it really gives you not only the ability to physically develop from an explosion standpoint, from a power standpoint, but it also, my mindset is it also gives you the ability from a mindset to be able to, go one-on-one with that individual person.
Yep.
And you know what?
Compete.
And the thing about track and field, you can't hide.
Yeah.
You can't say it didn't block, was the play calling. Hey, it's you in that lane. You can't hide. You can't run.
Yep.
So it builds a lot of character where you have to look inside and you have to say for yourself, it's up to me to get it done. There's no excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses.
I can't depend on anybody else.
Nobody else.
Yeah.
There's no excuse whatsoever. I got to perform and do it.
Yeah.
And so I highly admire, the Willie Gaults of the world back in the day.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders.
Yep.
These high-level people.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jacksons, who were able to use it as a platform
to propel them
onto a specialty. Football.
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna give you a little trivia. You got to rank the Hawthorne High athletes that you know.
Okay.
Give me your top 4, because I was there in school with them. So who's number 1?
All right. Well, it's obvious.
Number 1.
Number 1 is Henry Thomas.
The best ever. The best ever.
Henry the Heat Thomas. And what
made him so good?
Oh my God.
Hey, I saw us drop the baton in the Ocean League Finals against Beverly, Inglewood, Culver City, Torrance, North Torrance, and we still won. He got the baton 10 yards behind and won by 10.
His nickname was Henry the Heat.
Henry the Heat.
Thomas.
We called him Henry Dash.
And
why was he so? How did he get that good? That's my question.
Well,
because I didn't get there till he was a junior.
Okay.
You saw him 9th, 10th grade. I didn't see him.
I watched him from sophomore, junior, senior year develop. What made Henry Thomas so amazing was his range.
One,
that
two,
he,
four.
that he could go take you out in 100 meters and be for a very long time the fastest 100-meter runner we had in the state of California.
10.25.
That was a junior.
That was a junior year.
Junior year. And so he held that record for, I'm going to say almost some 20 years, Robert.
Yeah.
In the 200, in the 100.
Yep.
He was also a double in the deuce.
Yep.
Where he was ferocious. And above all, what's amazing about him was his ability to run up in the 400 meters, where he set, and they still have his national record, which is, I want to say, almost 40 years.
Yeah, it's like 45.83.
The 300.
He won it with it at the
No, the
Pepsi.
4x4.
Okay. Oh,
The
the
mile
4x4. Oh, yeah, we got the mile relay at 85. Texas relay.
So
What was it? The 307.
307.
Hey, he knows. Hey, producer, he knows the stuff.
Henry Thomas.
307 and 85.
Henry Thomas ran a relay leg of 44.5, which is unheard of.
44.5.
44 split 5 to anchor his senior year, which still stands today, 40 years later, untouched, the national record, fastest 4x4 ever
In
ran.
high school history.
Yes.
So they ran at the Texas relays. I'm going to give you the 4 guys on the team.
Yes.
Michael Graham.
Correct.
Michael Marsh.
You're right.
Sean Kelly.
Yes, sir.
And Henry Thomas.
Yes.
Michael Marsh, UCLA.
Yes.
Michael
Olympic
gold medalist
in the 200.
Michael Graham,
Yep.
Iowa State, and
Correct.
then USC.
Yes, sir.
I did my
My
homework.
roommate, actually, my freshman year.
Your roommate.
ASC.
And then Sean Kelly, University of Texas.
Yes, sir.
Alpha.
Yes.
Henry's a Sigma.
Yep.
And then Henry Thomas.
Correct.
They ran 307 in 1985.
Unheard of.
40 years later.
Nobody
Texas
could touch it.
relays. Was Roy Martin down there?
He took Roy Martin Jr. down. Roy
Can't
the
make this
robot,
up.
who's a legend in Texas.
Who's a legend? What high school was he at?
Olympian as
Dallas?
well.
Dallas,
He-
not Wilson or
He
Carter.
was
I know
Dallas. I don't
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt High.
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt High.
Dallas Roosevelt.
I think
Can't make this up.
Roosevelt's number 2 still
Still.
to this day.
Yeah, they ran 307 in 1985.
Henry Thomas locked. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if you know this, because you were a freshman when Henry was a sophomore.
Yes.
Okay. Henry Thomas anchored the state meet championship Hawthorne his sophomore year.
Did they win
in the
it?
4x. Oh, yes, they did.
Mhm.
And he beat a silver medalist who graduated his senior year, who he had my record in the hurdles. He went on the following year, Danny Harris, to win a silver
Danny
medal
Harris.
for the hurdles.
Danny Harris.
Danny Harris from Paris.
Yeah.
Thomas held off Danny Harris from Paris, who was a silver medalist, 1 year later, and they ran a amazing 4x4 built of 2 sophomores, Sean Kelly,
Henry
Yep.
Thomas, and then was it Miguel Torrente?
Rick Sorrente,
And then the other one was either Raymond or Marlon.
McGee.
Oh, Alonzo
Yo, boy,
McGee.
Alonzo McGee.
My boy, yeah.
Yes, sir. Texas El Paso.
Yeah, El Paso. Alonzo
Leadoff
McGee.
leg.
That's my guy. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you what. When I saw these guys, Robert, I was a sophomore, and I hadn't
That
qualified.
was 83.
I hadn't
83.
qualified for the state.
Okay.
When I saw them run this relay, it changed my whole life and inspired me in
It
such
just
a way.
made you start. You got to work hard.
Those are the guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I was going to do what I need to do, I had to get on that level.
Yeah,
And these
yeah,
were some young boys
Yeah.
that I
'Cause
never
Henry
seen
and Sean were sophomores.
taking grown folks out. Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. And another guy, I want to drop his name, good friend of mine of yours, T. Hannah, Travis.
That's
Hannah.
my young homie.
And my boy Seaway.
T. Hannah and Seaway, 88 and 89.
Little younger than me.
Yeah.
They came behind them.
Hey, they were phenomenal too.
Phenomenal athletes.
Hey, look, when Curtis was a senior, they had a really good relay team, and they were trying to break 40 seconds in the 4x1.
Right.
That these shirts that said 39 and 89. Can't make it up. Hawthorne High, baby. Hawthorne High. Shout out.
Dynasty.
Dynasty.
So now my top
Kai
4.
Courtney.
Top 4. Answer your question.
Henry Thomas.
I got Thomas.
Number 2, I got Seaway.
I take Seaway.
Number 3,
I'm gonna take T. Hannah.
T. Hannah.
T. Hannah's the 3rd.
And number 4, Michael Marsh.
Marsh.
We agree.
I agree.
We agree.
Marsh. Yeah.
Okay, we good.
Those are my 4.
Yeah, I didn't give him any hard questions. Yeah.
Yep.
So let's talk about real estate, man. How long you been in real estate?
You know, I've been in real estate for really most of my last 30 years.
Okay.
As more or less an investor in a sense.
Okay.
I got off into the lending piece over a year.
Okay. Over a year ago?
Yes, over a year.
So mostly investing.
So mostly investing. And how I learned really about it was, Robert, was I was successful having my own company in the legal space,
Okay.
litigation support services.
Okay.
So my tax man came to me and said, "Listen, George, you're making too much money. If you don't get in some type of real estate,
Get some
you're gonna
write-offs.
give it to Bush."
Yep. Yep.
So I decided it was time for me to expand out and get into the real estate game. And so, with investing, I had a jumbo loan at one point, an interest only loan.
Yep, I remember all those.
Adjustable. So I had about 5 or 6 different loans
Yeah.
that educated me
On how to
personally.
do loans.
So it taught me a lot about not only what the opportunities were to be able to get lending
Yeah.
and invest, but it also helped me learn the benefit
Yeah.
financially, how to build wealth.
Yep. Yep.
in
Let me
real
ask
estate.
you this. Yeah, let me ask you this. Where do you see the rates going? Where do you see the market going April, May, June, July when the market heats up traditionally?
It's a good question. I was asked that previously on a kind of another podcast, and I want to first of all thank you for inviting me to
Definitely.
your wonderful podcast.
I
Followed
appreciate
you.
that.
I highly respect your knowledge
Thank you.
and your experience,
Uh-huh.
Especially as a foreclosed expert
Yep. I
and real
appreciate
estate
that.
overall.
Yep.
So I wanted to make that a real key point that where I see it is basically fundamentally what we have right now. The stock market is being affected greatly,
Mhm.
diminished. People are getting out the stock
Yep,
market
getting
and they're
out
going
there,
into the
yeah.
bond market.
Okay.
And so usually when that happens, the bond market grows and becomes stronger. Interest rates drop
Okay.
because the bond market supports the interest rates
Yep.
to be able to drop.
To be able to
So
drop.
we've gone somewhere between mid sevens. Now we're in the kind of the
FHA 5.875.
FHA. Yeah, right.
And
We're in,
conventionals, what, 6.6, 6.7?
we're in the, I think kind of more or less than the basic conventionals in 6.7.
That's what I thought.
Right
Yeah,
at the moment.
Yeah,
FHA. Yeah, more in like the 6.
5.8.
Yeah, 5.8.
Yeah, 5.875.
That area. So
Okay.
I project with the tariffs.
Yep.
I project with the layoffs.
With the layoff.
Okay, the economy as we see it, and the bond continue to growing because the stock market, in my opinion, will still have some issues that people are going to continue to move their money for the bonds. Therefore,
The rates are gonna
rates
come down.
will come down.
So you in June, what do you think rates will be? Rates, you think they'll get FHA 5.0, conventional 5.7? That
I can see that potential.
5.2 and 5.875.
I can see that.
I can see that all
That's
day,
kind of what I'm looking
which
at.
is the normal rate. Because the 2 and 3% is not a normal rate.
No, it's not.
That was just a spur to market. That was a teaser.
That was
that's not coming back.
absolutely. Yeah, that's a Holocaust events
Here you go.
that brought about the need to stimulate,
Hit the market.
to
Yeah.
stimulate, right?
After 08, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Right.
So
Yes. Now, what will be interesting to me,
Uh-huh.
Robert, is some of the cutbacks that are taking place with the administration that polices the lending piece.
okay.
Where we had in the past some issues where we had some lending that was
Not above Yeah.
board. Yes, correct.
pick a pay, Nina, no income, no asset,
You don't,
stated income.
low for now, but
Yeah.
5 years from now,
Yeah.
we're gonna hit you like crazy.
Tell us what tell that arm that
Absolutely.
interest.
Yes.
Tell
yes.
us what payment you want to make this month.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one of the things that's a little nervous, and what I think is so important to have podcasts like this, where individuals like me can talk and try to share some of the knowledge, and that we need to really work on, ourselves and as a nation, as a culture, to become more educated, so that we're not in a situation where we become victims.
Yeah.
Because I think some of the things that we're seeing right now can allow people to become in a situation where they become very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Based off some of the drawbacks and some of the things that protected them.
Yeah.
Right, from the lending. So it's going to need people that are honest, trustworthy.
Yeah.
Who are going to be good consultants.
Yep. And tell them,
guide
no,
them.
don't take that deal.
Yes,
Don't take that loan.
Absolutely.
Because I'm seeing a lot of foreclosures now because a lot of people back in 2021, 22, 23 overpaid.
Yep.
So you had a listing in the city of Paris at 500. Somebody paid 555 for it. And the rate wasn't good. So now they can't afford it and they overpaid for the house. So we're starting to see that because of foreclosures. I'm seeing an uptick in foreclosures.
Yeah.
A ton.
Yeah, well, you know that
Yes,
better than anybody, and that's kind of what I've been able to kind of evaluate and watch. And experts like yourself have tuned into that and tuned into that thing is growing.
Yeah,
The foreclosure aspect is growing,
100%.
and so that's something that we got to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
And at the same time, I think the people that are positioned in such a way, not that it's a zero-sum game, Robert.
yeah,
But I think people who are somehow positioned in such a way can benefit.
absolutely.
And I don't want to say that
but not in a bad way, because you can help the homeowner too. So you can make it a win-win. So like you said, you can benefit.
Yes, correct.
There's opportunity out there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
right.
I
So
agree.
I think there'll be opportunities to refinance.
Yes,
Right.
especially when rates come
With
down.
the rates coming down.
Yep.
So I think so we can look at it from that standpoint.
Yep.
That even though we are dealing with some situations where economically we're dealing with maybe some foreclosures taking place and economy tightening up where things are getting more expensive, hopefully to own a home and what it costs on a month to month will cheapen.
Yeah,
And then
because you don't have a 7.5, you have a 5 1/4.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
that makes a big difference.
That can be thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars. Hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I like to hopefully put a positive light
Yes.
in some level,
Yeah.
even though we're going through some changes and we're going through some transition here as we deal with this administration, the economy in 2025 that we're in, and that hopefully it will bring some relief to people who are already in the real estate business.
Yep.
And so we can hopefully try to see how we can benefit from that angle.
Yeah.
In such a way.
That's good. So what's something you want to plug? You have your business. So where can we find you? Like if somebody has questions about, interest rates, wants to buy a home, where can they find you?
Well, you know what? It's funny you say that. My name is George Porter.
George Porter.
You can
George Porter, the same George Porter from not Cabrillo, but Cabrillo.
Cabrillo High School.
Cabrillo High School.
Right. So
okay.
I'm on Instagram. Okay.
What's your Instagram name?
And my Instagram, it's funny. You first would ask me that.
Okay.
I think it's GP Mortgage.
GP Mortgage.
GP Mortgage.
Okay.
On Instagram. My number is 213-210-6834. And you can find me there as an individual to help guide you with different loan opportunities that are out there. There's still some very positive things taking place in reference to grants. And opportunities for lending, funding.
Is there still down payment assistance?
Definitely down payment assistance that still exists. I also like to think that even when it comes to the entry level potential of buying property in that kind of 500 condo, 500 entry level. Right. I think that that's something that people can kind of maybe in some way possibly take advantage of, particularly in the FHA and conventional aspect where you covered in at 3.5% FHA, 3.5%. Conventional, very low.
5%.
5%. Yes, correct. And so there's possibilities, I think, to come in and benefit from that. I call it entry level position.
Entry level.
The two bed, places like Fontana, Ontario. East Val.
Ontario.
Yes. Azusa. Azusa has a special program right now where they're bringing like $200,000 to help you.
Really?
Potentially. Yes.
City of Azusa.
Okay,
I didn't know that.
Look that up.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Azusa's doing some special things.
Okay, I didn't know. I'm gonna look at it. So it's down. Is it down payment assistance? What is, or is it just grants to get you in the house?
It's kind of a combination.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Up to about $200,000.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Or a combination of we're going to cover the closing costs.
Okay.
Along with,
which is huge.
Yes.
That's huge.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So they can find you GP Mortgage on Instagram.
Yeah.
And let me hit a phone number again. What's the area code?
My telephone number is 213
210
210 6834. Follow me on Instagram.
GP Mortgage.
You can also find me George Porter. I have also another company called D1 Speed.
D1 Speed. What are you doing? You training kids to run?
Yes, I'm still.
So you held that out. He didn't tell us that, producer. He saved the best stuff for last. So
okay.
What is it called?
So it's called D1 Speed.
And what do you teach them? Is it track, football, or both?
So I teach speed, power, endurance training football, soccer, track, you name it,
Okay.
particularly for the youth,
Okay.
particularly focuses on the mechanics and the
Running.
power, and that I can take you in one session and just change your angles physically and increase your speed from a knowledge standpoint.
Yeah.
And get your angles moving in the right direction before we even get into the many nuances of how to build speed and power.
Okay.
So I'm working with a person right now, as a matter of fact, who is 58 years old, who's actually run the second fastest time in the 400 meters for their age masters group. In the masters.
What's their time?
Oh, well, you know what? To be honest with you, at that level, you're looking at somewhere
In the 50.
and for the men's 400. Shoot, I couldn't even tell you.
Low, you think it's low 50s?
I'd say somewhere like mid to high 50s.
High 50s. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
in the
good.
58 range.
At 58 years old.
Yep.
That's my partner's age. Hey, Randy, we might need to start training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
That's
work,
good. That's
work,
good stuff.
work with a couple different athletes, and so young and old, and so yeah, it's something I do. I still love, that I'm passionate about, but the majority of my time spent is in the Morgan's Lane area.
Mortgage.
Yeah.
I love that you're giving back, because you were like, had a big name in track in high school and college. Curtis and Travis are doing that. They were working with, I think they were working with Pro Way with Derek Holmes, training speed and that kind of stuff. So, and those are my guys. So make sure when you see Curtis Conway and Travis Hanna, I used to take them a couple times to lunch, because my buddy Darren Patton, who ran at Hawthorne, we had cars. So we would take Curtis and Travis. They had little naturals, little afros in.
Okay.
But we taking to McDonald's, them two and this kid, Ike Valerie. He was a running back and he ran track. So yeah, that was 86. Darren was a senior, Ike was a junior, Travis was a 10th grader, Curtis was a 9th grader.
I'm gonna tell you what, you went to a school that was absolute dynasty, man.
Dynasty.
And I'll tell you, just in my personal opinion, not that I'm biased toward you or my wife. That era and that school to me is the all-time greatest.
All-time greatest.
Flat out.
Not even for, hey, shout out to Coach Kai Courtney.
Kai Courtney,
baby. The gym is named after him.
Yep.
Kai Courtney.
He was a hell of a guy.
He was. Good coach.
Good
man.
guy.
Serious about it.
All about it.
Yeah.
And he got him out, man.
Hey, your senior year, 85, we sent like 20 kids D1. A lot to Long Beach State. Kim went where? UCLA?
She went to Cal.
Cal.
Right.
We had Henry at UCLA.
Tammy at Texas.
Tammy at Texas.
Right.
Graham, Iowa State.
Yep.
Marsh, UCLA. We said Kelly. My boy John Bedford went to
Raymond Young,
Long Beach.
UCLA.
Yep.
Marlon Lung, Cal.
Yeah. Yeah, they were a little older, but yeah, they all went D1.
It just
phenomenal.
Factory. Freaking factory, man.
Yeah. It's good stuff,
They
man.
were the Motown on track and field.
Man, all day.
All day.
We were proud to say we went to Hawthorne.
Gotta be, man.
Gotta be.
That's
good stuff, man. Thanks for coming, man.
Thank you so much for letting me have you, Robert.
Man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Come on, dog. Thank you.
It's a pleasure once
Appreciate
again.
you.
Thank you. It's an honor to come on here and be a part of this great podcast you have.
Dog.
Wonderful atmosphere with so many amazing gentlemen in the place.
Yes, sir.
And
shout out to Fred Red.
Yes, Fred
Our
Red.
mutual friend. Where is he at? I don't know. He's somewhere over here. Where he at, man? What a young homie at, man. He probably over there somewhere hiding with a big cigar and a dark drink. Nothing. We were just saying how you're a good man. That's all. He know I'm lying. Yeah, that's the homie. That's my hey, since age 10 over there.
I didn't know y'all go back that far.
Age 10, Rancho Cienega,
I'm gonna tell you
baby.
about this guy. Right, this guy knows everybody.
Hey, he did.
If you want to know somebody, you want to know this guy right here.
Man, I just know a few people.
He knows a lot of folks.
Man. Yeah.
You're good company with Robert. Good company, man.
We got to have more of these conversations, man.
We'll do it again, brother.
Yeah. But we're not going to ask an Oregon football parent a basketball question. We're not going to do that again.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's my boy.
It's all right,
Thanks
brother.
a million, dog.
Thank you again. Appreciate having the show.
Yeah.
Awesome, brother.
Share some of that margarita. Let me go downstairs.
Get
all
some of
right.
that.
We signing off episode 29. What you got? We coming back? Okay. We got one more thing. My partner's going to take your place. We'll say a few more things. Yeah, good stuff. Come on, Rand. Come up.
All right.
He'll take your spot. Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Good job. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
George Porter. Yeah. All American, baby. Baby. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep it down because I got some information.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What you got for us, Rand?
Good information. Listen up.
Are we listening?
All right.
You got 30 seconds. We out now.
All right. Check it out. This Sunday in Eastville, Sunday Jazz Brunch
March
at
23rd.
the Parkview, March 23rd. Gourmet brunch, live jazz, full bar, cigar patio.
What time?
From 10 o'clock. Doors open at 10 a.m. Show starts at 11. Hotel accommodations, Gene Mack and Aisha Ray. It's at the Staybridge Suites in Eastville. Brand new hotel. That's where
right
I
there
live.
by Silver Lake.
Yeah, right by Silver Lake.
Where is the jazz? Is it outside? Right outside?
Right outside, inside the view.
And they have a cigar patio.
Cigar patio. So we gon' the gents. I'm asking all the gents to roll up there Sunday. We're gonna be there. We're gonna support this brother, and he gonna support us. And
Sunday at 10.
Sunday at 10, $75. Valet parking, everything.
Okay.
First class. So check that out. This
10
Sunday,
10 to 4.
March 10th, March 23rd,
Uh-huh.
Sunday brunch at the Staybridge Suites in Eastville.
So what do you get with the brunch? You get the brunch?
You get the brunch, live jazz, full bar, cigar patio.
Okay, cigar patio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
includes that, and with that $75 admission, you get 2 free mimosas.
Okay, very good.
All right, so we're gonna support my man.
Can
And then we
bring our
got
own
another
drinks in
thing
there?
coming
No,
up
I'm just
here.
kidding.
Goal Achievers Golf for a Cause, 3rd annual golf tournaments.
Okay.
Sponsorships, banners, and donations available. We're doing the best ball, team up, score, everything, foursome, $10,000 hole-in-one challenge at Sierra Lakes.
What's the date?
The date is June 2nd.
Okay, June 2nd. Okay.
Sierra Lakes. Registration at 6:30 to 7:30. Tournament begins at 8 o'clock. So the 3rd annual golf tournament by Golf for a Cause by Goal Achievers at Sierra Lakes, June. All you golfers out there, June 2nd, 25.
Okay. I got
All
one
right.
thing when you finish.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do. And
Last thing.
hold on.
So shout out to, we got a lot of ladies here.
a lot of
This
ladies.
is Women's History Month. Shout out to the ladies.
Shout
This
out to the
month.
ladies. We wouldn't be
Young
nowhere
Nikki
without the ladies.
back there.
Yeah.
And this is also Social Workers Month.
So yeah, Social Workers Month.
So shout out to the ladies
Yeah.
and the gentlemen that are, social
All right.
workers.
And then
So, anything else?
go check out the Gents, one of the up and coming promoters in the IE. That's me, you, and all the guys here.
When is
Check
the
us
next
out.
event? When is the next event?
We're looking for a day party in Upland in May.
May 18th.
May 18th so far. We'll be giving you the information. Follow us at Instagram, Gents2425. We just
Okay.
threw a hell of a Mardi Gras party and a hell of a Fat Tuesday at Rock
party.
with the partnership of Raquel's. So go check us out, and we'll be giving you some more fly events, and let's all network and let's stay together, man, and keep pushing through this ugly mess we got going on right now.
All right, that's it, dog.
But
Episode
that's it.
29.
Episode 29 in the
In the
books.
books.
Oh man,
Sign us
R&R. Sign us off. Young Dre on
Young
the board.
Young
Hey
Dre.
man, we out. We see y'all next week. Hey, stay up. Keep pushing. Keep pushing.
Sir, we out.
Lakers in 5.